Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Closing Comments here on March 6th. Let's take a look at our charts here. Today, the equity markets saw another wave of selling. Each of the indexes closing lower. The Nasdaq was the weakest of the bunch, taking out new lows and being down 3% at one point on the low of the day. The S&P and the Nasdaq both testing these key levels of 5720 and 20,000 on the Nasdaq. This is a key level that we've been keeping our eye on dating back to last summer. That's going to be kind of a tipping point going forward. The Dow managed to stay inside the week's range. That was the strongest of the day, but definitely saw its fair share of selling as well. Most likely just nervous investors as we head into tomorrow's big news day. We've got non-farm payrolls and unemployment rate tomorrow before the open, which has been a hot button topic for the markets these days as the market is watching the employment data, and Jerome Powell will be speaking tomorrow afternoon as well. So no shortage of events to bring in some more volatility to an already volatile market. So I encourage everyone to stay defensive and let the volatility sort itself out and let the picture clean up a little bit before getting too involved. So next up is crude oil. Crude oil market saw a pretty quiet day. Nice $1.50 range today inside the prior day's range as the price just hung around the 66, 67 level. Price is getting a little bit on the extended side. We aren't getting too overheated here at the moment, but definitely could see some upside here as these lows have been tested, and a relief rally is probably in order, but rallies should be sold into as this market looks to clearly be in control by the bears. So look for them to keep driving this price down and beating on the 65 level, which has been a long-term level dating back multiple years. So could see some a lot more downside if we get a good push below all these prior years lows as everyone starts to unwind. Next up, we have live cattle. Live cattle market saw a pause day today after rallying nearly $7 on this April contract from these lows to yesterday's highs. Pretty much shot in a straight line from about $7. So this market needed to take a breather here as it pulled back and tested the prior day's lows on April. As we go further back into these back months, we are seeing that low stayed higher and inside the prior day's range. For the most part, we are seeing these highs line up with last week's high. That's going to be a crucial point to watch tomorrow. Look for bids above this $96.40 level, which is our bull pivot for the week, to get the ball rolling higher. And if the bulls want to close this market strong on Friday and continue this uptrend into next week, look for them to be pushing on that level and looking to break out of there. Feeders, similar story. Nice $10 rally over the course of 2 days from the lows to the high after testing the 50 on that April contract. Nice pause day as we hung out inside the prior day's range, just expecting this market to take a breather before continuing its move higher as well. So look for feeders to continue grinding higher in the near term. Last but not least, we have corn. Today was a pretty good up day for the corn markets after being beat down for the past 2 weeks. We stayed off the highs, closing down here near 463, 464 on this May contract. Just kind of seeing a relief rally here as we've seen so much selling pressure and shorts probably covering, and this market is coming up for air. Wouldn't be surprised to see resistance step in this 470 mark like we saw today. Pretty wide ranges as we've seen an increase in volatility in this market as well. So the bulls upside is limited here. Expect rallies to be sold into and this market to continue grinding lower over the long haul. But in the near term, we could see just slightly more upside as these sellers decide to step back in anywhere below, anywhere in this 470 to 480 area. Lots of room to work with here. So that's what we expect out of the markets to close out the week tomorrow. Everyone have a good night.